etc., they all considered Nanda to be the personification.
Pointing to the speaker.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. If you angle it down.
Oh.
Because you cannot hear.
Oh.
If you angle it down towards a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I know. Is that
You
better?
know the speaker in the
Haribo. So they considered Nanda to be like second Varajanya, and that he was so kind and so merciful. And he married the daughter of Varyasi, who's Yashoda. Yashoda Varyasi is also very, very famous, and Yashoda is none different in the sense that she's also very, very famous. Therefore, in part of her name, Yasha is there. Yasha means fame. But even more so, she is called Yashodha because Da in Sanskrit means to give. The Dhatu in Sanskrit means to give. So because she gives fame to so many others by her mercy of being the archetype, the model of parental affection for Krishna, then she is also called Yashoda. Because not only she gives to Devaki, I'll explain that later, but she also gives all the other elderly Brijabasis. The nature of their Vatsalya praying is actually coming also from Mother Yashoda. Why? Because unless you do Anugatya, you cannot obtain any kind of rasa in Braj. So those who are there in Braj, even Nitya Pradikars, they're also in Anugatya to the role model of their particular rasa. In the case of Vatsalya Prem, Yashoda Mai is the pinnacle. Only who has some equal nature of Vatsalya Prem, maybe even exceeding a little bit is who may exceed Mother Yashoda a little bit. Mother Sachi Devi. Understand? Because Mother Sachi Devi has to put up with something even Mother Yashoda does not have to put up with. What does she have to put up with? Yes. Well, Krishna never takes sannyas. Janmasthami Pad mentions Krishna even after killing Dantavakra, he returns to Braj. Srimad Bhagavatam doesn't mention like this, but Jiva Goswami Pad is given this, that after killing Dantavakra, he returns to Braj. Even during the Surya Grahana Kuruksetra, Mother Yashoda could go to see Krishna. Krishna also gave Spurti, like to Mother Sachi, he also gave Spurti many times to Mother Yashoda. You understand? So, some unique things are there in Mother Sachi. So we could say they're like equal, even Mother Sachi, maybe because of what she had to tolerate in the term of Mahaprabhu Sannyas, even a little more. But we should think that we've come into Brajadam and we're all anxiously awaiting for, we don't know what time. So nobody's looking at their watch and thinking, oh, it's going to be at 12 o'clock. We don't know what time Krishna is coming. But everybody's in anxiousness. So we are fasting not because it's a brata. In Sadhak life, we will say it's doing one brat. Why were Brijabasis fasting?
Separation?
Everybody was so excited. There's so much anxiousness, nobody could think of cooking or eating or anything. This is a very big day. That finally Nanda and Yashoda's child will come, nobody could think of food. Right? So they were not fasting and suffering now. Okay. What time is he supposed to be here? Understand? They were all thinking, oh, Mother Yashoda, finally she's going to have her child. Everybody was very busy in so many different sevas. They were all waiting for Krishna to come. So they were cleaning, some people were cooking, but they were only thinking cooking later for all the people who were doing all kinds of seva. Everybody was so absorbed, nobody could remember to eat or sleep. So everybody was up all night and everybody was so busy during the day, they had no time to think of eating and sleeping. This was a very, very big thing. Earlier Brijabasis, they had done yagyas because they considered that somehow or another, having heard about Ram Leela and the Putestri Kam Yagya performed by Dasarat, that perhaps this would be a way that Nanda and Yashoda could have a child. But actually Nanda and Yashoda, Jiva Goswami Pad is told, in their heart of hearts, they actually did not really accept those yagyas. Because they thought, in my heart, one blue boy has appeared. And the nature of that boy is such that he is so attractive, my heart can only want to have that boy as my son. Both Nanda and Yashoda had this same spurti in their heart, but they did not tell each other until the discussion came up that all Brijabasis have called Sandila Rishi, Bhaguri Rishi, others, and they're about to do so many yagyas on our behalf. But we're thinking, what will be the point of doing these yagyas? Because also if you do a yagya, the yagya should be that whatever Bhagavan will give me by his mercy, that I will accept. Dasarat, he did not say, I want Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan. He didn't say like that. When Rishishingha was doing the yagya, he only was willing to accept the mercy that Bhagavan will give him. But Nanda and Yashoda, they already had in their heart the darshan of Krishna, therefore they had their own desire. So you cannot perform yagya with your own desire like that. You'll do yagya with a general idea, I want to have a child, but then you'll depend on Krishna, what he will give me. You understand? Like this. So all Brajabasis, they were doing yagyas and different performances for that. Finally, Purnamasi Devi, as I mentioned earlier, arrived there one day all the way from Ujjain, and she brought with her Madhu Mangal, very small boy at that time. And when they saw her, they could realize this lady is very, very auspicious sign. Also very, very great sadhu. She was dressed in all saffron with very long white hair. And when she came, all came to her and they inquired from her, oh, who are you? From where have you come? And they all wanted to render some service to her. So this is prior to this Janmasthami Tithi, but prior to that she had come. And they all went to her and asking all these questions, and she told, oh, my name is Purnamasi. And I've come all the way from Ujjain. This small boy who is with me is Madhu Mangal. And like that she introduced. He's the son of whom? Madhu Mangal's the son of whom? Huh? No, his grandmother's Purnamasi.
Oh.
Who's his father? Later Krishna will meet his father. Sandipani Muni. So she told where she came from, and Ujjain was the hint. This is where Krishna went to Gurukul. So then she told, I've understood in this Braj that one pious couple who are the village leaders, Nanda and Yashoda, they were in some anxiety about having a child, but I'm giving my confirmation. Certainly, they will have the child of their desire. Goswami written in Gopal Chandra. They'll have the child of their desire, meaning that Krishna was going to come. So of course we have to ask the question. Actually, one devotee during the course of travel, he asked this question literally. He said, why is it that Krishna, though he has the spiritual world, and Mother Yashoda Maharaj Nanda are also there, all Nitya Parikas are also there, for what purpose does Krishna need to come to this world, be born, etc.? So for what reason? So there are many, many reasons for Krishna's appearance. Basic reasons given in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya Saranam Vinashraya Chaduskritam Bhagavatam Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Anushinam Dehimam Astita. So these reasons are given for Krishna's appearance. All the reasons begin with pleasure to his devotees. Paritranaya Shadunam Anugrahaya Bhaktanam. So in order to give pleasure to devotees, the Lord comes and says, wait, but the Lord has all of his devotees there in all the Nitya Dhams. For what reason does he need to come here? So, many reasons are there. So first I'm telling primary reasons, then what Rupa Goswami Pad is revealed in Ujjani Ramani, I'm also telling. So first, there were many promises by sages for different people. Like in the case of Putana. When Baman Dev took 3 steps of land and put the 3rd step on the head of Bali Maharaj, after that he also took a Nagpas and he bound Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj's daughter, some people say sister named Ratnavali, when she saw that, she became very upset. When she first saw Vamandev enter the Yagyashal, into the arena of sacrifice, her heart melted. How beautiful is this boy? And she thought, oh, if I had only the chance, because in that time, different ladies, they could breastfeed. This is how Putana was able to breastfeed Krishna. So they would allow. So she said, oh, I will give this child milk. But then, when she saw that her father, or brother, depending on what Paran, was bound by this Nagapas, she became very, oh, yes, and if I had the chance to give him breast milk, I'd give him poison. So Krishna, he had already agreed, yes, I will accept your offering, but not this Vamandev, but I promise you that you will come, when I come as Krishna, that time that Ratnavali came as Putana. In the same way, 2 sons of Kuvera, once they were out sporting and enjoying themselves. At that time, Narada Muni came along. All of the heavenly damsels that they were associating with, when they saw Nadrishi coming, they immediately, because of lajja, shyness, chastity, they covered themselves. But The two sons of Kuvera, because they were intoxicated, right? They could not recognize, so they thought, oh, this not Rishi, who is he? He's only spoiling our entertainment and fun, right? And they stood there unclothed. That time Narada Muni says, the consciousness of those who want to stand without any shame in any condition of life, this is the consciousness of the briks, trees. Therefore he gave a sop means a curse, that you should be born as trees. But I'm giving a benediction also. You'll be born as trees in each other's association in the courtyard of Nandavana. Therefore, for thousands of years, as two Yamla Arjun trees, they stayed in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj and soaked up all of the mood of Nanda Maharaj. You understand? So for this reason. Also, all of the other demons, Garga Samhita is not primary Shastra for Vaishnavas, but some things are there in Garga Samhita. So in Garga Samhita, the history of all of the different demons who were killed in Braj by Krishna is given. Each of those demons ended up in Braj because of the curse/blessing of any sadhu. Therefore, to fulfill the promises of all these sadhus that you will be liberated when Krishna comes, Krishna to do paritranaya sadhunam, satisfying them, he also comes to this world. Also, during Ram Leela, in Ram Leela, all of the seeds of Krishna Leela are planted. Primary in Ram Leela are 2.5 rasa. Primary, right? Dasya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, and Gaurava Sakya rasa, means like opulence kind of friendship. Not like Krishna's cowherd boyfriends in Braj, but like Arjuna and those outside of Braj. Even though they're friends to Krishna, they recognize he's Bhagavan. So 2.5 rasas, but the seeds of all 5 rasa are there in Ram Leela, including the seeds of Krishna's desire in the future to enjoy the forest of Vrindavan. Why do you think Ramachandra told? Because I asked Gurudev, in all Valmiki Ramayana, the story once Gurudev told, that when Ramachandra was a small boy, he spoke to Mother Kaikeyi, and he asked Mother Kaikeyi, oh mother, when I become older, please banish me to the forest for 14 years. So I went back, of course, because Gurudev told this story, Valmiki Ramayana, not there. Right? So we were on a morning walk in Houston, and I asked Gurudev, I've not seen in Ramcharitmanas, I've not seen in Mool Ramayana Valmiki, anywhere about that story. He said, oh, there's so many Ramayans. There's so many Ramayans. So I thought about it, I said, yeah, because even in Indonesia, different places, they recite Ramayana. So did Pujapad Madha Maharaj, he said, where it is in Dakshin Ramayana. Means in South India, when Ramayana is there, and there's commentaries of so many people, Baba Bhuti, so many commentaries on Ramayana. He said, in that Dakshin Ramayana, this story is told. So why did Ram want to go to the forest? Because the seeds of Van Vihar are planted. Van Vihar means enjoying the forest, are planted in Ram Leela. What other seed is planted in Ram Leela? Though Madhurya Ras, especially in Parakiya, is not in Ram Leela, because it is strict Swatiyavar, et Patni Vrata. Ram will only take one wife. But why do we say the seed of Madhurya Ras is planted? Separation mood. Because of Sita's kidnapping, Ram experiences the mood of separation, which is the hallmark quality of Madhurya Ras. Navina vipalomeno sambo pushdim ashnute. Without separation mood, meeting cannot happen. I'm going to explain something also about that coming up. Also in Ram Leela, when Ram very cruelly had Sita banished to the ashram of Valmiki, he told to Lakshman, listen, Lakshman, this was the last straw for Lakshman. Gurudev tells the story how this was the last straw. Lakshman underwent many, many things during the course of being the younger brother of Ram, which is why he decided he would not do that anymore. One thing that was the pinnacle of that was that in the very end, after he had done Sita Agni Pariksha already twice, once he had done in Lanka itself, then again in Ayodhya, then again when Sita came back to Ayodhya, he told to Lakshman, listen, even though already I've given examination twice, the third time is going to be a charm. Right? I've already given twice. Still, people are complaining. So he told, listen, I want you to take Sita. At that time she was pregnant with twins, Love and Kush. I want you to take her, Haribol Guru. Very long time I haven't seen her. So he said, take her and let her visit now in a different situation all of the ashrams of the different rishis we stayed at when we were traveling and banished in the forest. Because Sita thought all these places were very beautiful, like Chitrakoot, the ashram of Valmiki, ashram of this rishi, that rishi. So Lakshman took her on this, but he had one instruction that was unbearable. When you get to the bank of the river and you're near the ashram of Valmiki, you should return and leave Sita there. For Lakshman, he thought, how can I do this? How is it possible? Ramachandra, he will sit back in the kingdom, but I will actually drop Sita, and when I drop Sita, who will have to look at the face of Sita? Who will have to look at Sita's pregnant body? Right? Who will have to listen to Sita's piteous cries and Sita's pleading? Who will have to do that? I will have to do that. Therefore, never again will I come as a younger brother. That's why later on when he came as Dalbhaya, as Baladev, when Krishna refused to go back to Vrindavan, he thought about this. I remember what happened last time. I don't need your permission now though. Before, if I want to do something, I need your permission. Now I'm giving orders. Instead, from the time they were very small, Krishna used to give all the orders. He would tell Krishna, you can go here. No, you cannot go here. Sit down. Come here. Now come home. Even if Rohini Ma on Yashoda will call Krishna, he may or may not come. But if Bala say, okay, time to go, immediately Krishna is going. Just like Vishwarup would control Mahaprabhu like this also. I said Nimai, he would control Nimai like this. So now, as Baladev, when it was time to go and give mercy to Vrijabasis after so long separation, he thought, I don't need your permission to go. Uddhav needed your permission. Gacha Vurva Somyam Pitaro Prityavaha Mad Yoga Mad Gopi Viyoga Dim Mat Sandashaya Avimokchaya. He told, yes, oh Uddhava Janta Uddhava, I want you to go to Braj. Pitaro in Sanskrit, this is du. It means our parents. Prityavaha, give them and show them affection. Then he told, but to the gopis, don't try to show because you have no capacity. Sandashari means give them only my message. In this way you can give them some relief. But Balaram, he didn't need this kind of permission. He thought, I'm going to Braj, period. And he could force Krishna to come. How he could force Krishna to come? Because Baladev is the ability to reveal Krishna anywhere to anyone. Because he's a Kanda Guru Tattva. You understand? So I'm not speaking that may come later. But this way, Lakshman, I'll never become younger brother again. For this reason. So the seeds of this separation mood that Ram experienced were the Krishna experiences are also planted in Ram Leela. Finally, even when Sita returns after Love and Kush come, and they're singing in the Yajna of Ramachandra, right? So beautifully they're singing the Ramayana that they've learned from Valmiki. Then all discover this is actually the sons of Sri Ramchandra. Then they send for Sita. And Sita comes there. And Ram again wants to do pariksha. Pariksha means give a test, examination. That time, and this is also one reason why Krishna is also coming and why Mother Bhumi had to go and take the form of a cow to appease him to come. That time when he brought Sita back and he asked again, she said, okay, I'm taking this test. But I'm saying this time, if my chastity is perfected, if my chastity is perfect, if there's no flaw in me, I beg, O Mother Earth, that you take me back into your bosom. So of course, as soon as she said that, what happened? Mother Earth opened up and took Sita and took back to her lap. At that time, Ramachandra realized, oh, now this is not temporary anymore. She's not down the block. I cannot send a Facebook message or anything. They let her come back. Now everything is permanent. So he became very upset with Mother Earth. Oh, I will render you open with my arrows. So many things he said. But still, no effect. But who took this to heart? This is also one reason why Krishna came and why Mother Earth was used to appease for Krishna to come. Because Bhumi Devi remembered this Leela. How she caused so much separation for Ramachandra that shortly after that time, Ramachandra, the Kalparush, visits him in his palace, and at that time, Ramachandra and all Ayodhya Vasis, They simply give up their lives by entering into the Sarayu. Bhumi Devi, oh, what I've done create this kind of separation. So she begged, oh, you have to come back and you have to perform a pastime in which everyone becomes happy. Everyone should be satisfied. I'll make, now that when you come back, through the Shakti of Sri Baladev in Sandini form, I will manifest your Nitya Golok Dham here in this world. Right? As Bhumi Devi. I will do that. And then you can have Van Vihar in all of your favorite places. This is why Bhumi Devi took the form of a cow. Because as soon as Krishna, when they were peeling, he could recognize this form of a cow. It is Udipan for Krishna that your next incarnation should be as Brijavasi. You understand this? This is why she took the form of a cow. One reason. Also, during the sacrifices of Sri Ramachandraji, because Sita had been banished to the ashram of Valmiki, at that time, Vashishta told, oh, if you want to do a yajna, how will you do a yajna if your wife is not here? In order to do a yajna, it has to be a family affair. So he said, well, what should I do? He said, I have a recommendation. You can get married again. You're a Kshatriya, you have the right. He said, no. I will not do this. So then he said, well, is there any other option? He said, well, if you will make a murti and pran-pratishtha can be done of Sita, then you can also do that. So every year, during the yajnas that Ramachandra would do, he would make one Swarna Sita, means golden Sita, as a deity. Pran-pratishtha is done, and the yajna would be done there. When Ramachandra was ending his pastimes, all the Swarna Sitas, oh, what's going to happen with us? He said, I'm giving you blessing that in my next Leela, you all can come as gopis, and that way I will also have association with you like that, even in a higher way. Also, all of these sages who were in Dandakaranya, all of these rishis, when they saw the beauty of Ramachandra, when he came into the forest, when they looked at the beauty of Ramachandra, though they were chanting Gopal mantra, so they were looking for the perfection of the Gopal mantra, but having the darshan of Sri Ramachandraji, the beauty of Ramachandra broke their meditation. When their meditation was broken, even though they had not completed, they had not become siddha in their mantra. So what is the indication here? The Gopal mantra is ultimately for worshipping who?
Krishna.
Yes. Yes. Gopal mantra has 3 phases in it. I'm not repeating here because it's improper to repeat mantra out loud. But the 3rd phase of this mantra for all of those who have taken Diksha is our aspiration. You understand? 3rd part of this mantra. Does everybody, whoever's initiated, understands this? Right? And Kam Gayatri is only for the worship of Krishna in Madhurya Ras. It's clearly mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Apakrita, Vrindavane, Apakrita Navina Malam, Kama Bij, Kam Gayatri, Yandra, Upasi. The Upasana of Kam Gayatri is strictly meant, along with its Bij, to worship Apakrita Navina Madan, the ever-fresh Cupid of Braj. So those rishis had not become perfect. Still, Ramachandra gave them the blessing. You can still come and you can achieve your desired result. So they also took birth in Braj as the Rishichari Gopis. They were also Sadhan Siddha by the mercy of Ramachandraji. Also, the demigods, their wives, they had also been able to witness the sweet pastimes of Ramachandra and saw his beauty. But they also heard from the rishis about the beauty of Sri Krishna's Leela. They also had aspiration to come. Krishna said also, you can come. So all Devakanya, means daughters of the demigods, also took birth as gopis. Also, even the personified Vedas, they also prayed. Even the Munis, Rishis, they're all praying for liberation, but our only desire is to be able to follow in the footsteps of those gopis of Braj. This means that the conclusion of all of the Vedas is also Radhadasyam. It is not unique to Gaudiya Vaishnavism. On the Praman of Srimad Bhagavatam itself, and this prayer of the personified Vedas, it's proved that Radhadasyam is also the goal of even the personified Vedas. So they also took birth as Shrutichari, as Sadhanasiddha Gopis. So for these reasons, all these various reasons, Krishna also appeared in this world. But now I'm telling something that Rupa Goswami Pad reveals in Ujjwala Lamani. Because Braj pastimes, especially the pastime of Krishna with gopis, is based on meeting and separation. So in Vrindavan, 3 types of meeting and 3 types of separation are possible. One is called Purvarag. From Purvarag comes Samship Sambhog. I've explained this before, so I'm giving the summary version because Katha could get very long. So, Purvarag means prior to the actual full maturation of the gopis of Krishna, they have attraction for each other, especially by hearing about that person. You understand? Hearing about that person's glories, you develop attraction. Right? This is called Purvarag. When they finally get to meet, that Sambhog, that meeting is called Samship Sambhog. I'm comparing it in this world so we have a reference point to the first date. Right? Any boy and girl here, if they go on their first date, there is so much etiquette and maryada. Right? You knock on it, first you have to be on time. If you show up late, that's a problem. If you show up, you have no flowers, that's also a problem. Right? If you show up and you don't have a plan, that's also a problem. Right? So then when you knock on the door, right, that lady comes down and she opens the door and then she says, oh, how do I look? Now she's just finished taking lunch prasad, there's green on her teeth, right? She didn't remember, she had not fully combed her hair yet. But what will your reply be? You are so beautiful this morning. You understand? It must be. This is the etiquette and maryada of a first date. This is called Samship Sambhog. If Radhika, for any reason, with a cause or without a cause, will have man, then Krishna has to break that man. If that man, meaning her sulky mood, comes because of something, like Gotra Skalana means, if Krishna is with Radhika and he looks at Radhika's eyes, he says, your eyes, they are Chandravali. Chandra Avali means the beams of the moon are very beautiful and bright. But if he looks at Radhika's eyes and says like that, what does Radhika hear? Only Chandravali. Then Radhika's mood will change. No. Then you go and you look at your own moon, whatever. You understand? She becomes sulky. This is called Durjaiman. Very difficult to break. So I'm not going into detail, but there are 6 kinds of ways you can break man. Right? So Krishna will try in so many different ways to break Radhika's man. If he becomes successful in breaking Radhika's man, there are symptoms that the man is broken. I'm not going into that. And she may smile, she may turn towards him or anything like that. But when that man is broken, that meeting is called Sankirna Sambhog. Why? Sankirna means contracted. So I'm giving an example that we can relate to. Husband and wife, they love each other. But sometimes there's difficulties. Sometimes any dispute or argument may come up. At that time, they may separate themselves into 1 room, 2 rooms, anything, go up. Husband may go out and come back, wife may go out and come back. When they come back in the house, their love is still love of husband and wife, but the atmosphere is very tense. So he says, Haribo, Patni, have you, wife, dear wife, what is for dinner? There's food in the refrigerator. Did you make anything? Do you have 2 arms and 2 legs? Yes. So they're in the house, but the atmosphere is just not lovey-dovey. Okay? So Sankirna Sambhog is like that. Radhika is not forgotten. But Krishna is so vidagdha. He's so expert that in part her man is pacified, but she's not fully broken. This is called Sankirna Sambhog. If Krishna will take the cows out for grazing, Gocharan, at that time, Gopi Gita is described. Atatite bhavan anikananam tritiyugayate tvam apasyatam. Even for 1 minute that the gopis do not see the face of Krishna, it is like a yuga has passed. So Krishna goes out early in the morning to do Gocharan. That time gopis are thinking, where is he, how will we meet? And only by their duties, by their messengers, are meetings arranged. Or by some other sanket previously. Sanket means a hint. So Krishna how expert is Krishna? If Krishna will pass Radhika's direction, he will stop for a second and turn his body in the sun in such a way, his shadow will point to a particular Leela stali. Like we'll meet at this place, or we'll meet at that place. And Radhika, by hint and her sakis and manjaris, they know, they can tell Radhika where to rendezvous. This is called vidagdha of Krishna. You understand? But while Krishna is not with them, how much great pain they're suffering in separation. So 2 kinds of events happen that pacify that separation. One is called agati. Agati means Krishna suddenly appears before them. If you read Vidagdha Madhava, especially so many pastimes are there, describe these things. For instance, all the gopis have gathered all of their milk products and they're all going to the market. Krishna's going gocharan somewhere else. But Madhu Mangal gets a message from Kundalata that Radhika is going to be in a certain place at a certain time. Immediately, then Krishna arranges to take Subal, right, and Madhu Mangal and go off in that direction. You understand? Then suddenly, Krishna appears before them and any lila takes place like Dangati lila, or any lila like this. You understand? So this is called agati. The other way is that at the end of the day, when Krishna blows his flute to call all of his cows, and the gopis hear that venuna, they hear the flute at that time, they know it's time for Krishna to come home. They can see the dust rising in the distance, meaning the cows are all coming back. At that time also, it is called Sampana Sambhog, because that time they meet Krishna. Later on in the evening also, Krishna will sneak away from home and they will meet. This is Sampana Sambhog. So 3 types of separation, 3 types of meeting. But Shastra mentions 4 types of meeting and separation. What is the 4th one? It is called Sudur Pravas. What is Sudur Pravas? Sudur Pravas, Ujjalayamani explains, when Krishna leaves Vrindavan, he goes to a great distance for a great period of time and comes under the control of others so he cannot easily leave. This is called Sudur Pravas. This cannot happen in Braj. You understand? Krishna will have to go to Mathura and to Dwarka. But Mukunda, what about the verse that Krishna never takes one step out of Vrindavan? So I'll explain coming up. Right? So for this reason, Krishna also comes here because here in Prakat Braj, Krishna can actually physically do gamana, means going and coming. So he goes to Mathura, he goes to Dwarka, and in this way, Sudur Pravas takes place. What kind of meeting takes place after Sudur Pravas? Samriddhiman Sambhog. Where does Samriddhiman Sambhog take place? When is the next time Brijabasis will see Krishna after he leaves Braj? 70, 80 years later. Where? At Kurukshetra. This is called Samriddhiman Sambhog. You understand? This can only take place when Krishna comes and does his Prakat Leela. In Nitya Golokdam, Krishna never leaves, only conception that he's leaving. So that Leela is enhanced when he comes here because he literally does go into Mathura and go into Dwarka. Now how do you reconcile the verse that Krishna never takes one step out of Vrindavan? How will anybody reconcile? Try. Anybody want to try? Huh? It is Vasudeva Krishna that goes, huh? Okay. And Vrijinananda Krishna stays. In Tattva Vichar, it's okay. Okay. In Rasa Vichar, what is Mathura and what is Dwarka? Mathura and Dwarka are only expansions of Vrindavan itself. They are not different places. Who will think they're different places? Oh, only those looking from Tattva Vichar, or only those who are actually Mathuravasis. From a Brijavasi's point of view, what is Krishna doing in Mathura? Suffering. What is he doing when he goes to Dwarka? More suffering, intense suffering. You understand? So for the Brijavasis and for Krishna, Mathura and Dwarka, they are Virohe stans. They are places of great separation. And when there's great separation, when meeting happens, it's enhanced. You understand? Therefore, Mathura and Dwarka are not really different from Braj from the perspective of Brijavasis. You understand this point? They're only extensions of their mood of separation. Other than that, for Brijavasis, does Mathura have any importance? Or Dwarka have any importance? Therefore, Rupa Goswami wrote in Bhakti Rasmita Sindhu, therefore, in your sadhana, one thing you don't have to do is Dwarka Dhyan. You remember the 64 Angas? He says also don't do Dwarka Dhyan, means meditation on Dwarka. Because for the purpose that we're doing bhajan, Dwarka is not so important. It is only important because it is a Virohe stan. It is a place of deep separation from Krishna, and many separation pastimes take place there. Like what? Like Krishna Mother Devaki saw Krishna once, and Krishna to her eyes looked very, very thin. So she approached and said, what's happening? You're living with 16,000. 108. I'm not even coming 16,000 is a big. 16,000 wives you have. But you look like this? So one thing is that any mother, I don't care what happens, if you're my size, right? My mother, if I go home, she say, oh, is your wife cooking okay? You understand? This is mother's vision, right? Because only her cooking is everything. Right? Oh, Mukunda, are you eating? Mom, look. You understand? But it's still, are you, because mother thinks only my cooking is everything. So one reason Devaki is speaking like this is because she has some Vatsalya friend. She's speaking like this. But the other reason is because Krishna actually also is not eating so much. Also, whenever Krishna lays down at night in each of his 16,108 palaces, at nighttime, when Krishna has his Swapna Vilas with Braj, because he told gopis at Kurukshetra, you should know that I'm always coming here every night. How is Krishna going every night to Braj? Not physically, in Swapna Vilas. But for Bhagavan, he's absolute. So there's no difference between Swapna Vilas and his manifest Vilas. You understand? But when he goes at night and lays down in Dwarka and he has Swapna Vilas, what does he see? Oh, he sees that, oh, my favorite cow was there, and Krishna plays the tune for that cow on his flute, and then he remembers that cow's name. Oh, Shamali, oh, Kali, oh, because Krishna's names of cows are based on 108 different groups, right? 100 groups according to color, 8 groups according to the shape of their face, right? So Krishna's calling different names of cows, and then Krishna suddenly sees something. His body becomes very tense. And then Krishna starts to call out, hey Lalite, hey Lalite. And then the queens are wondering, we don't have any maidservants named Lalite? Certainly they're not in the room right now. My name is definitely not Lalite. Right? And then Krishna all of a sudden becomes very morose and begins to cry profusely. Then they think, what's going on? They cannot disturb. There's no way for them to enter that prakosh of Krishna's heart, that chamber of Krishna's heart. They can only witness it because they can't understand it. They can't understand this Braj praying. You understand? Therefore, when they wake up in the morning and their bed is like the Jamuna, then only they can come, what's going on? So finally in the palace of Rohini, they once asked, excuse me, we want to understand better what is the glory of these girls of Braj, that even while living in the opulence of this Dwarka, Krishna's crying at night like this, and first even calling animals before he sweetly calls my name. Calling animals and not calling my name. Then calling so many other ladies, but not calling my name. So in this way, my point is that Dwarka is only a Virohistan for Krishna's deep mood of separation. So this way Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, right? Because Nityananda Prabhu revealed to when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, and he tricked Mahaprabhu when Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, and he took him to Shantipur. What did he tell Mahaprabhu? What did he tell him?
Where you are, there is Vrindavan.
It doesn't apply to Krishna? Where he is, that is Vrindavan, because his heart is Vrindavan. In this way, Vrindavanam Parityadam Paramekam Nigachati. He never takes one step out of Vrindavan because he can never give up in his heart the Brijabasis in Braj. Even if you think about it, what is Dwarka? Where did Dwarka come from? Someone tell me, where did Dwarka come from? Dwarka, I visited Dwarka. Pujari's Dwarkadish temple told me the meaning of Dwarka is Dwarakaha. Dwara means door, Kaha means where. They're asking, where's the doorway to this place? Where did it come from? Why? Jiva Goswami Pad revealed, the Brijabasis, when Krishna was away, they heard by messenger that Krishna was constantly being attacked by various demons, even after the killing of Kamsa. Because he married the daughters of Jarasan, Asti and Prapti, so many demons who were aligned with Jarasan and still friends of Kamsa, they continually attacked. The Brijabasis were hearing about this. So they said, we should perform a yajna. They called Bhaguri Rishi and others. They they performed a big yajna. All the Brahmins were there chanting. And they told, just like we do, when you throw your grains into the fire sacrifice, say Swaha. But the Brijabasis could not help themselves. They weren't saying Swaha only. May Krishna be protected all over, Swaha. May Krishna be surrounded by a great fort where nobody can touch him, Swaha. May Krishna be so far away in the ocean nobody can see, Swaha. So in this way, the Brijabasis, they built Dwarka by their meditation on protecting Krishna. So one night, all Mathuravasis went to sleep in Mathura. The next morning, they woke up at the Club Med in Dwarka. You understand? Therefore, Dwarakaha, where has this place come from? Puranas say Vishwakarma came, made it, but Jiva Goswami, we trust more. So he said, Brijabasis built by their own prayers and their desire to protect Krishna. So finally, we have so many reasons why Krishna came. Last reason revealed by Rupa Goswami Pad, in order especially to understand this highest type of meeting and separation, which is called Sudur Pravas, Samriman Sambho. Because the meeting of Brijabasis during the solar eclipse of Surya Grahan at Kurukshetra, so high class of meeting. We'll get to that point. So when Krishna decided to appear, first he made all arrangements that his Dham, Nitya Golok Dham, would descend. When Vrindavan Dham, the eternal Dham, descends, the Prakat Dham, right? Hari Bol Prabhuji. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. My first stop in traveling was New Vrindavan, and Prabhuji was at the program. So I'm very happy to see him. So, when Nitya Golok Dham descends, it comes down and almost like a spaceship, like Star Wars. It comes down and becomes Prayuj. Prayuj means, like Sayuja means when something merges with something but keeps its own identity. That is called Sayuja. Prayuja, like the verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prayuja Mone Mahi Tvam Surim Bhagavatim Tanum. This verse Narada Muni recited. Prayuj means when something comes together and there's no distinction between the two things. So when Nitya Golok Dham descends and comes to Prakat Dham, Prayuj, they become one. There's no distinction. Therefore, sometimes things in Nitya Dhama manifest, and sometimes things of Prakat Dhama manifest at the same time. I'm giving the example. When Uddhava came to Vrindavan under the order of Krishna, when he first pulled into Vrindavan, there's one book called Uddhav Sandesh. So devotees, according to your time, everything, that you should read Uddhav Sandesh. Because Uddhav Sandesh tells in detail how Krishna sent Uddhav to Vrindavan. It is very heart intense. You understand? But it describes that when Uddhava entered into Braj, when he first came to Braj, he saw the Prakosht, means the section of Braj, of Nitya Golok Dham, where all Brijabasis still were there, Krishna was there, all the cows were going, calves were being herded, everybody was cooking, people were selling things, everything was going on just as if Krishna was there. Then after some time, the whole curtain of that Prakosh was removed, and the Prakosh of Prakat Dham, with Krishna having left, was manifest. Why did Krishna do this to Uddhava? Why? In order for Uddhava to have some understanding of what it is in meeting to feel separation. So you have some empathy with Brijabasis. You have to see the two states of how they're existing. So he could see what it is when Krishna is there, and then what it's like when Krishna has gone. Okay? But my point here is that when the Dhams come together, it is possible to see both Prakosh at the same time. This is Prakosh Tattva. So now, Krishna allowed his Dham to come, including Giriraj, Govardhan, Jamuna, all of his favorite Leela stars. They all descended here in this Prakat Dham. Then Krishna had to do the next thing, which was clear the way for himself to come. So first he sends Baladev. How? After 6 sons of Devaki are killed. These 6 sons, I'm not going whole background, you could read in any place, any Puran, Garga Samhita, about the background of the sons of Devaki. Everybody knows in the previous life, Kamsa was Kalanemi, he had 6 sons. Do I need to repeat that thing? No. Because so much, he had too much things. Right? So anyway, after the killing of these 6 sons, then in the womb of Devaki, Baladev himself appeared there. That Baladev then immediately was transferred to the womb of Rohini. Rohini, according to Jiva Goswami Pad, she is like a bridge between Braj and Mathura. He put her on a white horse and he sent her to Vrindavan. There in Braj, Rohini Ma had the full manifestation of Baladev Tattva within her womb. Now the partial manifestation of Baladev was called Sankarshan. That Sankarshan appeared in the womb of Devaki. The word Sankarshan means, Karshana means to attract. So that Sankarshan is a personification of how everything is attracted to Braj. Therefore, by the power of Yoga Maya, that Sankarshan made it appear. That Sankarshan, Yoga Maya, made it appear that Sankarshan, that Devaki had a miscarriage, but Yoga Maya actually had transferred that Sankarshan from the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini, where it merged with the full manifestation of Baladev. Does everybody understand this? Huh? Yes or no? Yes. When that happens, now a transcendental conduit. Somebody on the phone has to mute out. I know. So, a transcendental conduit is created between Mathura and Vrindavan. That transcendental conduit will be very important because now it is a prakoshta of Yoga Maya to perform so many leelas. What kind of leelas? Oh, after Sankarshan appears there, creates this conduit and Yoga Maya, then after that, Krishna makes his appearance in the womb of Devaki. But how does he appear to Devaki? How did he appear? Chaturbuj Narayan. It is the original form of Krishna, but it is Vasudeva as Chaturbuj. With all Mukut, Shringhar, fully dressed, everything else. So he appears before Devaki in this form, to Vasudeva and Devaki. At that time, they're both offering stav and stuti. First, Vasudeva offers so many prayers. Then Devaki begins to offer so many prayers. While she's offering prayers to this Chaturbuj form of Narayan, at that time, wait, you may want to make a comment. I tell you, if you need to make a comment, I'll give you mine, okay? So, that time, Devaki offering her prayers, suddenly, in the heart of Devaki, a mood overwhelms her, and she tells Chaturbuj Narayan, whom they've already told is Bhagavan. He's already told them about their previous life as Prasnigab and Sutapa, and as Kashyapa and the son of mother and father of Vamandev. He's told already, I've appeared as your son twice, and this third time, I'm coming in my full manifestation, Swayam Bhagavan, as Vasudev Chaturbuj. She tells that Chaturbuj Narayan, who's Bhagavan himself, oh please, can you become like a tiny baby so I can hide you because I'm afraid of Kamsa? So anybody reading Srimad Bhagavatam carefully, you have to have pause here. Hold it. You're talking to Narayan. You said he was Bhagavan. He was your husband just got through saying he's all powerful. Fear is afraid of him. But now you're asking, oh, can you become a baby, first of all, so I can hide you because I'm afraid of Kamsa? Secondly, also, I don't want the word to get out that you appeared from my womb because nobody will believe it. And they will think, having been in the prison of Kamsa, we've gone mad. It's written in Bhagavatam. If I tell somebody that Vishnu came from my womb, so, okay, yes, the stress of the jail sentence was very much on that. And now they're speaking like this. So for two reasons, Devaki asked this question. But what inspired Devaki to ask this question? Now back to one point I made earlier. Yashodha. Same time that Chaturbuj appeared in the dungeon of Devaki, Swayam Krishna, Roop, Vrajinda Nandan appeared from the womb of Mother Yashoda. Literally from the womb of Mother Yashoda. If you read the story of Vasudeva and Devaki, Vasudev meditated, and that Chaturbuj Narayan, who's also Artayami, appeared there. He transferred from his heart into the mind of Devaki and then into the heart and the womb of Devaki. So there's many upakya, many teachings for this, but to Yashoda we don't hear this. simply just like ordinary Lokic birth, right? That Krishna appeared in her womb and took birth. Therefore, the gopis who are our highest authority, they've said, Jayati de adikam janmana braja sarada indira shashvaratrahi. Proof that Krishna was born in Vrindavan, they spoke it. And they said, besides that, the proof of it is that now Vrindavan has become more opulent than Vaikuntha. This is proof you took birth here. Whatever the proof is there that Krishna took birth in Vrindavan and not in Mathura. Jayati jananivaso devaki janmavado. What does vad mean? Like Mayavad, this vad, that vad. Vad means in Sanskrit a theory. So that he took birth from Devaki is only a theory. You understand? And that theory is satisfying to the hearts of Mathuravasis and those who are not Brijavasis. But to Brijavasis, Jayati Jananivas, they feel that Krishna, one meaning of Jananivas here, is that Krishna's own near and dear are the Brijavasis. And he actually directly took birth there. Krishna took birth directly from the womb of Mother Yashoda. Afterwards, Mother Yashoda, by the influence of Yog Maya, she was so bewildered that she falls asleep. At that time, Krishna, by the power of Yoga Maya, Jiva Goswami Pad says he's like the wind. He picks up that Krishna, and remember the conduit I talked about that was created by Shankar Shan? Through that Prakosht, that conduit that was created earlier by Yoga Maya and Shankar Shan, he takes Krishna from the bed of Mother Yashoda. You know those things in the bank, you put your thing and you push the button? Like that, right? Goes there, pops up in the cell of Devaki. And what happens? Devaki has darshan by the mercy of Mother Yashoda. She has darshan of actually Virgindanandan Krishna. This reason inspires her to then pray, "Oh my son." This is why she asked Narayan to become son. Because now by having darshan of that Krishna, Vatsalya Prem, coming from the model of Vatsalya Prem, Yashoda has entered her heart. So now she prays, "Oh, become like my son." You understand? Now that Krishna gets there and he says, "Look here, I'm not staying here very long. I'm happy to meet you. Everything is very great, but I have to get back before anything happens." So he takes that Chatur Bhuj, Vasudev, he puts that Vasudev inside him. You'll be useful later on. I'm going to be killing a lot of demons. I don't want to break my concentration on enjoying myself. You can handle my small work. Right? So that's what happened. So he takes that Vasudev inside of him, and again, all the chains break off of Nanda Maharaj, the cell doors open, and most amazingly, the guards whom Kamsa told, "With your life, if this lady gives birth to any child, you let me know immediately." Those guards will go back and tell Kamsa, "I don't know what happened. We had a late night last night and I fell asleep." And they'll say like that. Right? We got caught up in the celebration. Maybe had a little too much of the soda juice, whatever, and I fell asleep. Not possible. You understand? Why did they fall asleep? What I told earlier about that Prakosh of Yoga Maya, they were fully awake in their Prakosh, but they're sleeping to that Prakosh created by Yoga Maya and Shankar Shan. You understand? They're asleep to that. They can't understand that level. Right? So now Yoga Maya comes. Right, with Krishna. Krishna takes that form of Chaturbhuj, Vishnu, puts inside himself to kill demons. Then he tells Vasudev, "Now take me back to Braj." Vasudev begins to leave. At that time, all the demigods are coming to witness everything. Everybody's looking. Everybody's completely ecstatic. This is whom they were praying to in the womb of Mother Yashoda. Now they're seeing this baby. He's being carried by Vasudev. Everybody shows up. Indra shows up. And he forgets to tell his associates, who are the rain, "Look, this is a special day, don't start." The rains come also, because they're also trying to see. You understand? So now it's pouring rain. So what happens? Seish. Because there's always a remainder. The word in Sanskrit, seish, means the remainder. Right? But seish is two categories. Try to understand this point. Seish means what is remaining that is to be used for the service of Seishayi. Seishayi means that which is worshipable or that which is to be served. You understand? So in this case, the Seish is Ananta Seish. He's the remainder of Baladev that had stayed behind to escort Krishna to Braj when he would appear. You understand? Even the Jivas in the Paramatma Sandarbha of Jiva Goswami, the Jivas are called Paramatmaika Seshatva. It means we are the remainder of Paramatma meant to be servants. The word Sesh means to be a servant. So Ananta Sesh means unlimited service. So he stays behind. When it starts to rain, Ananta Sesh manifests and Vasudeva continues to carry Krishna. When he gets to the Jamuna is completely ecstatic. And the Rasa Samagri of Jamuna Devi is so intense that Jamuna Devi is overflowing, bubbling, going completely crazy in ecstasy. Right? But she realizes she has to render service, so she parts way and allows Vasudeva to come. Vasudeva comes through, he takes Krishna. When he enters the house, all Brijabasis under the influence of Yogmaya, they're also sleeping. On the bed, he only sees one girl. That girl is the girl who took birth after Krishna. Her name is Anuja. Some devotees think this is Subhadra, but not. Subhadra is also a manifestation of Yogamaya, but Anuja means that one born after. Anuja means literally born after. Right? She is the little sister of Krishna. So, Vasudeva places Krishna on the bed. Now that Vasudeva and Shamsundar merged together, and he takes Anuja, and therefore he goes back, he walks past the gods in Mathura, gets back, places a little girl right on Devaki's bed, all the chains and everything go back on automatically, and like an alarm clock, all the gods wake up, what's going on? You understand? Now Kamsa comes to know one baby has been born. He immediately comes down. He comes in, he finds out, but it's a girl. So he thinks about it for a minute, then he says, no, I don't trust. He takes that baby, snatches from him, even though they're pleading and begging, both Vasudeva and Devaki, he still snatches that little girl, and he tries to dash that little girl on a rock. What happens? She flies up in the head and kicks Kamsa in the head, and then goes up and says, oh, you fool! That one you want to kill has already been born somewhere else. But the question is, why did she kick Kamsa? She just was angry?
No.
Why did she kick Kamsa in the head?
Mercy.
Mercy, why? Because she is herself the manifestation of the Ishta Devi that Kamsa worshipped. She's the manifestation of Durga Devi Mahamaya. And Kamsa used to do his worship to this Ishta Devi. So she's saying, here's my blessing to you, stupid. That person whom you're trying to kill, he's already been born somewhere else along with all of his Shaktis. Right? Now she disappears and Krishna has given her blessing. You'll become famous in so many places in the world by so many names. Kali, Amba, Durga, like this. You understand? So now Kamsa is morose. He goes back. In the meantime, in Braj, they're celebrating. The umbilical cord is cut. They're witnessing. Manda Maharaj is giving out so many gifts in meditation. Vasudeva is doing the same thing in his dungeon chamber, right? And now Nanda is doing that. And then tomorrow they'll have a big festival, Nandotsav, right? So now Krishna's come. Baladev had already been born. We celebrated Balaram Jayanti here, or at someone's house. So in Balaram Jayanti, Balaram had appeared some days before. Gurudev is also given katha, could not be 1 year before, etc. I'm not explaining that because devotees have heard it. But Baladev appeared shortly before, but Baladev would be almost like completely inert. The only time Baladev would manifest any active symptoms is when he would come near the womb of Mother Yashoda. Then Baladev would become very alive. Then when Yashoda would go, he'd become very docile again. Why? Because the Sangini Shakti, the power of service, only manifests when the object of service is present. Do you understand this? So whenever he's near Krishna, that Sangini Shakti becomes alive, waiting for seva. In the absence of that, very docile. Understand? So then when Krishna takes birth, now Balaram comes fully to life. You understand? Now Baladev and Krishna, they're growing together, playing together. Only 6 days after Krishna is born, the first demon shows up. Who's the first demon? No. First demon? Putana. So Putana comes. Putana is killed by Krishna and she's given the blessing to become a nursemaid in Braj. Sequentially, so many demons come there, and as the blessings of the rishis who gave them the curse foretold, they all get liberation because they're directly killed by Krishna in Braj. Understand? Now Krishna and Balaram began to grow up together, and they began exploring. The first exploration for a baby is of its own body, right? Because babies, they're fascinated with their own bodies. What to speak of the body of Krishna? How much transcendental nectar is in that body? So Krishna spends hours and days looking at his own hands, his own limbs. He's playing with his own feet. When they're old enough to start crawling is when they start getting into mischief. For instance, once Krishna and Balaram, when they were able now to walk a little bit, they began walking and they walked into the courtyard. When they walked into the courtyard, they saw that Nanda Baba, one cow, had been outside the Goshala. Hey, how pleasing will it be to Baba if we put that cow back in the Goshala? But they're so small. So they went towards that cow, and as they got towards the cow, they had to devise a plan. So Krishna told Baladev, he points this way, Baladev, you go to the front, and Krishna said, I'll go to the rear, right? So they both went to their separate sides, right? And then how will we do it? Oh, well, you take the front, I'll take the back, right? So as Krishna got ready to go behind, all of a sudden he saw something go like this. Krishna jumped back, and then he approached again, and again he saw that same thing. So he thought, Daubhai. So then Balaram immediately came there, and they were looking, and they kept seeing this thing like this. So then they concluded, one snake must be trying to attack this cow, because in the grass they kept seeing this movement, right? So earlier that morning, Yashoda and Rohini had dressed them beautifully, had washed them, put on all fresh clothes, so many things, right? Not a lot of clothes, because Krishna at that time only wearing very minimal things, but decorated them, cleaned them very nicely. Now they were there, suddenly they said, listen, the only way we can get the cow now is if we get the snake first. So now Krishna and Balaram began to count, 1, 2, and they jumped and they grabbed the snake. What was the snake? Tail of the cow. Cow takes off running, dragging them through mud, cow dung, urine, everything like this. They're yelling, oh Maya. So at that time, Rohini and Yashoda come out, stop, take them off and look at them, and they're only smiling. You understand? So didn't we tell you, don't get dirty, don't do this, right? So then Yashoda chastises. When they become a little older, one day, Yashoda Mayini, she's preparing so many glubjamins, more glubjamins than Krishna's ever seen before. So Krishna calls Balaram, they go into the kitchen, and they start to ask, oh Maya, why are you making so many glubjamins? It's my birthday today. No, Lala, it's not your birthday. Then he's making and she's asking questions. No, it's not your birthday. It's not also Dalbai's birthday. It is not a special occasion here. Like this, I'm making for your father's puja. Krishna says, oh, they smell. He said, don't smell. Right? Because you cannot smell before the altar. Don't smell. Go to your father. So Krishna and Balaram, they go to Nanda Baba and they begin saying, hey, Maya's making so many glubjamins. Hari bol, Prabhuji, Dhanavad, Pranam. Making so many glubjamins. Will we have some? Nanda Baba says, shh. You should not speak about them at all. They have to first be offered. Right? So then Rohini Ma brings from the kitchen huge trays of glubjamins and places it down before Nanda Baba. Nanda Baba picks up his gun, his bell. He begins ringing his bell, offering stav and stuti. So Krishna, they're looking, and then they notice something. Hey, that you said you were offering these glubjamins to Narayan, but all we see is one rock here. The rock is a nice round black rock, but that's all we see. We don't see Narayan, right? Because Nanda Baba used to worship one shalagram, right? So Krishna's looking at it, and then suddenly in Krishna's mind comes one idea. Listen, we heard in stories that Narayan has 4 arms, Kastuvamani, Mukut, everything, but on this thing here we only see is round like that. We can't deny that our father said this is Narayan, so it must be that because this Narayan has been going from house to house and eating so many glubjamins like this, he turned into a glubjamin. This was Krishna's rationale. He must have turned into a glubjamin. You understand? So Krishna is looking and staring at him. Oh, why he's become so dark? Because the juice from the glubjamin, if it accumulates, it'll make also very thick. So that's why he's turned so dark. So then Krishna is looking and looking. Then Krishna looks at Dalbai, and then Krishna snatches that little Shila, boom, puts it in his mouth. Nanda Baba finishes his stav and stuti. He looks up, no shalagram. So he looks at, where is Thakurji? So then Baladev says, oh Father, when you were offering, perhaps Narayan came, and because he's very busy, he took 1 or 2 globjamins and then he left on Garuda, he went where he's going. So then Nanda Baba said, no. Where is the Shila? He told, no, Father, listen. We're not the only people living in this Braj. Many Brajabasis are living here. So he thought it would be unfair that he should take all globjamins only in our house. So he took some globjamins here and he's going next house, like this. So he said, no, where's Kanai? Where's your brother? So he moved Baladev aside, and Krishna is standing there, Krishna's cheeks like this. He says, where's the Shila? Krishna says, So then Nanda Baba opens Krishna's mouth. He says, why did you do this? Now I have to do Abhishek, I have to do everything, because now this is very impure thing. So Krishna, listen Baba, the reason I did this is because you told that Narayan is Chaturbuj, he has so many, we didn't see anything here. We thought perhaps this is an imposter, so I was hiding him so that he would not steal the globjamins you were trying to offer when Narayan came. Then he said, no. Listen Baba, I'm telling the truth. What happened was, when we had our naming ceremony, Gavarishi that time told, Nandastu Atmajo Narayana Shama Guna. He says that your son has all qualities just like Narayan. So at that time I thought, listen, I wanted globjamins, you wanted to give Narayan globjamins, so I thought if I put in my mouth, we could both be happy same time. Understand? So like this, very sweet pastimes. When Krishna was a little bit older and began to go cow herding, at that time, Madhu Mangala cowherd boys would come early in the morning and they would help getting Krishna dressed and everything. Then at that time, as they got ready to go out, they all had like small lunch bags, right? Generally Rohini or Danishta or Kundalata would bring lunch out to them in the forest, but they would also pack snacks to go. So that day, Madhu Mangal went to Mother Yashoda and told, oh man, because I do the most work whenever we go out. I'm always the one who's in charge of making sure everything goes right because I'm the most intelligent. Understand? Because I'm born in Brahmin family, I help them to organize where everything should go. Because I work so hard, I become very hungry. So when you're packing the snacks, can you please give extra snacks for me? Especially today, I noticed you made ladus. If you give extra ladus, this will help very much. So they put their bags out, all the boys went to play for a minute, and then they packed all the bags. So that time Krishna, Sridham, Ujjwal, they snuck back into the kitchen. They took Madhu Mangal's bag, and they dumped out all the sweets, put them in other bags, then they took rocks they had brought in from outside. And they filled Madhu Mangal's bag with rocks and tied it back. Madhu Mangal and all the boys came back in to collect their bags. Madhu Mangal, when he saw his bag, was like this. Oh, how kind Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini are. So then he got ready to pick the bag up, and when he got ready to pick the bag up, it was so heavy. Oh, he was so happy. So then he put the bag on, and all the other boys put their bag on. Today, Krishna told, listen, we should do our grazing near the top of Govardhan. That means you have to walk up the hill. So all the other cowboys, they were coming. And Madhu Mangal, as he's walking, it's very hot, he's getting more tired, he's carrying, but he won't do it. Everybody says, oh Prabhu, let me carry your bag. No. I can carry myself. Right? We will not steal anything. No, I can carry myself. So they get to Govardhan, and they start going up the hill, and Madhu Mangal's about to faint. Just give us your bag, we'll take for you. No, I'll carry it. So struggling. Finally they get to one place, we should take some snacks. So all the boys, they open their bags, and they all sit and look at Madhu Mangal. Why are you not opening your bag? No. You go ahead and you eat. What does Madhu Mangal want to do? He wants to save us seeing each person open their bag, 1 ladu, 2 ladus. Then he'll open his bag, so many ladus. Right? So each boy opens and they taste their ladus in there. Oh, it's so good. And Madhu Mangal, he cannot wait. Finally, when everybody's done, Madhu Mangal, he just wants to savor the aroma. So he takes his bag and he cracks it open a little bit. No smell. So Madhu Mango opens the bag a little more, sticks his nose, nothing. He looks inside, only rocks. So then Madhu Mango, he becomes furious. What has happened? Somebody stole all of my ladus. He pours his bag out, he's acting very angry. So all the boys, they take ladus, say, calm down, Ratu. And they start throwing ladus. And when they're throwing the ladu, Madhu Mango's running this side, catch one, run this side, catch one. Now he's very happy. So then, Krishna decides we should play one trick. So he's throwing very fast, and as he's running faster and faster to catch each ladu, Krishna takes one chili and bites instantly. Like this, all cowboys boys also used to have so much fun. You understand? This is Braj Leela. For this reason, Krishna came. You understand? When Krishna became a little bit older now, that day it was the Nakshatra birthday of Balaram. So Mother Yashoda Rohini and all elder Brijabasis kept Baladev back, and they were performing a big ceremony in order to please Baladev. Every day that Krishna used to take the cows out, he would try to go to one area. And every day Baladev would catch him and say, no, don't go there. Don't go there. And Krishna would come back. Every day this went on. So today, Krishna, knowing that Baladev had to stay back, he called all of his coward boyfriends and said, we should leave immediately. So they got the cows, everything, and they're gone. So Baladev is he was about to start his ceremony. He thought, hey, and he ran out and he called Subal. Subal came back, yes. He said, go and tell, don't let Krishna go to this place. What place is that? Kaliyadaha. Don't let Krishna go there. So Subal is running and he's calling Sridham, Madhu, to try to catch them, but they've already gone. So finally, when they get to that place, Krishna sees the atmosphere of the lake of Kaliya. He goes there and everybody knows what happened. In the meantime, back in the ceremony, all of a sudden all these ill omens start to manifest. All the elderly Brijabasis, they say, we don't feel something is right. We should go and find Krishna. Baladev tells us everything is okay. I have given instruction, every Krishna is fully taken care of, don't worry. But they will not listen. Long story short, they all go out to look for Krishna. They all show up to Kaliya Daha. What do they find? Krishna trapped in the coils of Kaliya. So as soon as all the Brijabasis come and they see that scene, what do they all do? Boom. Because this thing has gone out in the village as a national emergency, everybody comes, including all the younger gopis. So all the younger gopis who are just coming into their age of maturation, they run to that place. And when all the other Brijabasis fainted, what did they do? They stood there with their eyes wide open. So Madhu Mango looked and he said, listen, Nanda, Yashoda, all the elderly Brijabasis have all fainted. But these girls are standing there and they're staring at you with their eyes open. Why? Jiva Goswami Pad wrote in Gopal Champu, this is the beginning of Purva Rag for the gopis. So it says they see Krishna for the first time. So then I thought, couldn't be because they grew up together. They've seen Krishna throughout his whole life growing up. So what does Jiva Goswami Pad mean? This is the first time they saw Krishna. What is the meaning here? I'm giving an example from this world. You went to school with John. When you went to school with John in elementary school and junior high school, John was buck teeth. His legs were this big, right? He wore glasses, and through those glasses you thought you could see the moon if you borrowed them, right? And also, at that time, you thought John, he is nerd personified. 15 years later, you've graduated from school, everything, and now you've entered your freshman year of college. You're both going to register for your classes. At that time in the distance, you see one person coming, and they're walking like this, right? At that time, they get a little bit closer. The face looks familiar. Then you stare closely, but no glasses. He's gone to contacts, right? He has discovered the gym, right? So now, it's chilling down like this, and then you say, John? You understand? Like this, gopis, although they saw Krishna growing up, now for the first time they saw Krishna like that. Understand? So Madhu Mango, noticing this, he tapped Krishna and said, so I can look. So then Krishna looks over and he sees them. So now Krishna, though he's already chastised Kaliya, what does he decide to do? Start dancing. You understand? In order to enhance the dancing of Krishna, because the atmosphere is very dark, the moon, because the moon is the great Ras Seva of Krishna. That moon stayed with Krishna throughout one whole night of Brahma during Rasa Leela, providing lighting. That same moon now, he starts providing light. Even though it's daytime, he provides light to all this darkness. The jewels on the head of Kaliya, this is described in Gaga Samhita. The jewels on the head of Kaliya are also reflecting that light. And now Krishna is dancing in that light. This is the original and first discotheque. You understand? And all of the young gopis, they're looking and they're mesmerized. From that day on, in their hearts, they desire to do what with Krishna? This is the seed of their desire for us. This is the seed their desire to dance with Krishna and Ras Leela. You understand? So now, after Krishna chastises Kaliya and he sent away, the atmosphere of that Kaliya Dal became very beautiful, very fragrant, very wonderful. So Krishna gives Nanda Maharaj a suggestion. Listen, because now this place is very pure and very beautiful, we should all stay here overnight and have a wonderful festival here. So Nanda Baba agrees. He says, yes, it's a very good idea. So then Krishna makes a mental note. Anytime there's a national emergency, all of the elders will be amenable to all of us, even the young boys and girls being together. He took note of that. So that night they set up and they were about to have a wonderful festival. Only problem was, 2 spies of Kamsa, they came to see what would happen. That if Kaliya would have killed Krishna, they could have gone back and reported to Kamsa that Krishna had been killed. But because it didn't happen, they thought, we can become heroes ourselves. But we already know he's killed Putana, Trinavarta, Sakata, Sura. Right? So we can't confront Krishna ourselves. What should we do? So what did they decide? They decided to set that place on fire. Setting that place on fire. Krishna, of course, put the fire out, but what happened? The evening's activities were spoiled. All Brijabasis decided to go back home. But Krishna took a mental note. Anytime there's a national emergency, that time, then none of the elders mind if we all come together. So he took that mental note. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala Govinda Govinda Gopala Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopala Govinda Some years have passed now and the gopis are starting to mature. Krishna is also maturing. Various times they meet and they see each other and different leelas take place. In Krishna's 7th year, one amazing leela takes place. Yogamaya inspires Indra to create the leela, which is Govardhan leela. I'm not telling Govardhan pastime, everybody knows the pastime, but I'm only telling one special thing here. During that Govardhan leela, because Krishna remembered from the chastisement of Kaliya that any time that there's a national emergency, that all Brijabasis will come together and there's no problem. So when Krishna lifted Govardhan hill and he invited all the Brijabasis to come together, they all came together, and because there was millions and millions of Brijabasis, he told them all, move in, move in, move in. So all were in very close proximity to Krishna, including whom? All the gopis also. So Krishna was very happy. Krishna was holding up Giriraj with the left finger of his left hand. In this way, Gurudev says he was giving Sanket hint to the whole world that the actual power of his ability to hold up Govardhan was due to that gopi who has the most extreme leftist mood. Who is that? But how will it be revealed? So at that time, Krishna, thinking about Radhika, began to tremble a little bit and the hill shook. At that time, immediately all the cowherd boys took their cowherding sticks and put them up. At that time, all the elder Vrijabasi men looked at the hill and offered prayers. All the elderly gopis, they also put their hands together and prayed. All of the younger gopis gathered around their group leaders, and all of Radhika Swapaksh, all of her gopis gathered around her, and Radhika, she took from her veil and she looked at Giriraj like this. So after the Leela was over, they began to question Nanda Maharaj. Listen, Nanda Baba, we've seen many amazing things from your son. They would also do this later on when Nanda Maharaj was bound by one serpent. But now they ask also, please, you have to explain how this happens. So Nanda Baba said, God Rishi told, like sometimes the demigods come, my son is favored, so sometimes these amazing things happen. The elderly gopi ladies, they said, no. Kacho makana bala balo, kacho ko kisai, kishori ji ki kripa se girivarali utai. So one poem is spoken there in Braj. All the elderly gopi ladies said the reason that Krishna was able to hold Govardhan hill, because every day he steals butter at our house. And from eating all of our butter, sweets, yogurt, everything, he's become so strong. What problem is there for him to hold his hill? So when the gopis said like that, then Madhu Mangal began laughing. She said, no. The reason he is able to hold the hill should be obvious to everyone. We all took our sticks and we held our sticks up to help him. So because we gave Krishna help, this is easily why the hill was held up. So then, Lalita and Visoka, they began laughing. So Madhu Mangal asked them, what do you think is so funny? No. Not because of your sticks, not because of so much butter. Kishori ji ki kripa se girivarali. Because our Saki looked at Govardhan hill in such a way that Govardhan could understand if you should come down and harm any Brijabasi, the power of my Saki will burn this hill to ashes. So Madhu Mangal said, what do you mean? I don't accept that. You're saying that your Saki, her glance, is more powerful than our sticks? Huh? Say yes. What is the problem with that? Very easily. Says, do you have any way to prove it? Say yes. Okay, Madhu Mangal said yes. Let's have a wrestling match. And in a wrestling match, then obviously who's stronger, that will come out. So Lalita Visakha told, no. This is just another plan for you to have your lusty sucker to try to touch our Hari. Not happening. Say, no. There's no desire to touch anything. You made a statement that your Saki, by only her glance, was holding this hill. If her glance is so powerful, why are you afraid of her being touched? Right? So you should arrange one wrestling arena. So they began to go and they arranged the place to have a wrestling match. All of the Sakas came with Krishna. All of Radhika Swapaksh came with her. And they decorated Radhika as a wrestler. Before they did that, they started decorating the wrestling arena itself. They started putting up flowers and putting up little bowers to make a division where Radhika could get dressed and everything. So Madhu Mangal said, hey, why are you putting so many flowers there? Maybe you guys have made some kind of cheating plan. You put some kind of in the flowers so that Krishna will come and smell these flowers, he'll become weaker. They said, okay, no need for flowers, anything. So then they had Radhika come out and go into the wrestling arena. That time, Krishna also came out. So Krishna began stalking one way, then stalking another way, then getting closer and getting closer. And then just as Krishna was about to pounce, Radhika pulled back her veil, looked at Krishna, boom, fainted. So two famous poets have written about this. One is Lord Shiva himself. What did he write? Anangaranga mangalam prasanga bangura bravam savi bravam sasha bravam jagana banta bantanai nirantaram vasikrita pratitti nandane kadakarisha siyamam kripa kataksha vajanam. Oh Radhika, your glance is so amazing that in the auspicious wrestling arena, when you glanced at Krishna, savi bravam sasha bravam means Krishna became stupefied and more stupefied. I'm translating to English, Savi Brahman, Sasha Brahman. He became completely under your control. Nirantaram Vasikrita. He became Emperor. Therefore he became completely submissive to you. Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, Nararasa Surinidhi. He's written, Venu Kana Patitam Shikalikam Shikandam Ristancha Pita Vasana Vraja Raja Sunayo Yogendra Dogramati Madhusudanopi Yasha Kataksha Savagata Vimochitasha. He says, listen, that when Radhika glanced at Krishna, first his flute, which he never leaves, fell from his hand. Then Shikalikam Shikandam, his peacock feather and crown fell off. Bristancha Pitavasam. Then his Pitambar fell to the ground. Krishna began stumbling, going one way or another. At that time, when Radhika's glance took full effect, Yasha Kataksha Savagata Vimochitasha. Krishna lost all consciousness, Vimochitasha means, and completely fainted. So these two poems have confirmed this Leela, that Radhika only by a glance she made Krishna faint. Like this, so many sweet pastimes go on in Vrindavan. But finally Akrura comes. When Akrura comes to Vrindavan, and he tells Krishna about the suffering of Ugrasen, tells about the imprisonment of Vasudeva and Devaki, tells how all the Vrishnis are suffering very greatly, and how it is his duty, right? Because it's some known that you're also the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. It's your duty to come and help them. What was Krishna's reply? Anybody? What was Krishna's reply to Akrura? They met in a secret place. Vasudeva who? Devaki who? I don't know what you're talking about. And he went to play. Understand? Then Akrura went to Baladev and he told, for sure you know Vasudeva is your father. And though Rohini staying here in this Braj is and she's your mother, you should know that the Mathuravasis are suffering greatly. I'm asking you to speak to your brother because you have sway with him and convince him to come to Mathura. So only because Baladev spoke to Krishna was he convinced to go to Mathura. Not because of Akrura. Because Baladev spoke to him, then Krishna was amenable to going. But he told the gopis, I'll be gone for a very short time. I'm coming right back. I promise to return. On that day that he was leaving, everything was prepared. All the Brijabasis came out. All different parties of gopis. All the elderly gopis and gopis. Even all the cows had gathered around. This scene was unimaginable. Everybody was standing there, but nobody could do anything. Nanda Maharaj was getting on his chariot, getting ready to follow. Yashoda was speechless and helpless and like a statue. She was only reaching for her son. You understand? Gopis, they began looking and they began looking at each other. Is anybody going to do anything? How can they allow this to happen? They have no understanding of what is love. Because if they knew what is love, first of all, Krishna himself would not leave, nor would anyone let him leave. When the chariot started to pull away, the gopis ran up to the chariot. This was the first time they'd ever expressed openly their feelings. Because the nature of Madhurya Ras is that it must be kept hidden. It is called Prachana Mukita. Every rasa has its elements. So one element of Madhurya Ras is Prachana Mukita. It must be kept hidden. But now, Srimad Bhagavatam mentions, Evam Bravam Virahatura Brisham Vajastyo Visaktamanasa Visraja Lajja Rudasma Suswaram Govinda Damo Dharamadaveti Govinda Damo Dharamadaveti. This verse, Gurudev used to always have us sing this whenever Gurudev was leaving. This was actually sung by gopis when Krishna was leaving. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. It says, Visraja Lajja. Visraja Lajja means their shyness. They gave up all of their shyness. Whatever they had hidden due to Madhurya Ras, they let it go. And Rudasma means crying profusely. They began singing this song, Suswaram. Suswaram means, Su means very good, Swaram means like Rag de Swar. Like Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Da Ni Sa. These are called Swar. So Suswaram means they took the best of all of the notes of Rag. What notes? Those notes which would attempt to pacify the heart but couldn't. Right? If anybody hears a love song, right? The whole mood of a love song is it makes you sadder, but it makes you happy you're hearing the song. This is the material world. Right? Same way. Munasma suswaram. They sang in swar that was trying to pacify their hearts but couldn't, therefore it made it worse. So they started remembering all of the pastimes of Krishna encapsulated in 3 names. Govinda, Damodar, and Madhav. As Damodar, they remember him being bound. They remember him being bound by Mother Yashoda. As Govinda, they remember all the pastimes with the cowherd boys and is with the cows and going for Gocharan and so many things. And as Madhav, what do they remember? Jaya Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari. They remember how Radhika used to take complete control of victory of Krishna when she takes the mood called Swadhina Bhaktrika Nayak. Right? We should study Rasa Tattva also, Rasa Vichar, Rasa. Other than that, it's difficult to really appreciate the writings of what our Goswamis have given. So Radhika has 8 moods. One mood is called Swadhina Bhaktrika Nayak. When Radhika takes the mood of Swadhina Bhaktrika Nayak, Krishna becomes a Dhira Lalit Anukul Nayaka. Nayika is Radhika, Nayak is Krishna. So what happens then? Krishna becomes completely under Radhika's control. That's why Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. In their Kunja Vihar, Radhika should always be victorious, always have the mood of completely controlling Krishna. You understand? This is our prayer. And our Srila Prabhupada used to sing this daily before speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. How rasik is this? You understand? So, anyway, so they're remembering Madhav because Madhav means the husband of the goddess of fortune. Who is the goddess of fortune's origin? Who is the origin of the goddess of fortune? Radha. She is Mool Shakti Tattva. Right? All the other Shaktis come from her. You understand? Therefore, Radhika is the most fortunate. Ramani Shiromani expressed, she has more fortune in Satchi, Satya, Lakshmi, even more fortune in Chandravali because she controls Krishna. You understand? This is why this bhajan is so beautiful, Ramani Shiromani. So, actually the goddess of fortune here means whose most fortune is Radhika. So, Govinda, Damodar, and Madhav. They sang these names remembering all the pastimes of Krishna. Their tears were so profuse that it created a small muddy lake where Akrura had to manage his way to go. Krishna told Asashiti, I will return immediately very soon. Krishna was gone, long story short, for 80 years. Remember, Krishna would go Gocharan for a small time, every minute seemed like a yuga. Now he's gone for 80 years. Then they meet Krishna again during the solar eclipse at Kurukshetra. When they come to Kurukshetra, the Brijabasis were uninvited. Why? Guru Dev, our acharyas have told, because your own family, do they need invitation to come to your house? Nowadays they do. Used to be you just show up, hey, Haribol cousin. Now it's hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm your cousin John. I just drove all the way from Wichita. Why didn't you call first? You understand? So not as easy today. But mood is, right? Even in India, I have an idea of atiti. Atiti means uninvited guest. Atiti literally means didn't come in time. Like we have a titi, like today's Janmasthami titi, a calculated time. Atiti means no time, somebody just shows up. Right? So still they should be treated like the demigods, or they should be treated, guests should be treated very favorably, even if they show up not in any time. Right? So the Brijabasis, though they weren't invited to the Kurukshetra for the Surya Grahan, they showed up anyway. When they came there, messengers immediately went to Krishna and told, hey, the Brijabasis have shown up. Krishna immediately jumped down from the seat he was sitting on in the sabha and he ran to the front gate because they were not allowing them to come in. When he was running to the front gate, his crown fell off, his royal dress fell off, his bangles fell off. When he got there, all he was saying, Maya, Maya, Baba, Baba, looking at Nanda and Yashoda. Instead, all of the royal attendants ran after him, and when they got to the gate, looking at Krishna without his royal paraphernalia, they began dressing him right in front of the Brijabasis. The gopis took note of this. Radhika especially took note of this. Therefore, in Radhika's heart came one verse which was later echoed in the heart of Madhavinda Puripad. Ai dina dayadranata maturanata kalavalukshaye. This verse is saying when we used to have deep separation from you in Braj, you immediately came to our aid. But now, in our deepest mood of separation, after so many years, when you show up right in front of us, you have your royal attendants dress you like a prince in Mathura. So now we don't know if you're that Dinanath who could come and quench our deep mood of separation, but you're like Mathuranath, like a king in Mathura. Understand? Because in Braj, Krishna used to dress Chutta Pravala Stabakupala Ja Paridana Vichitra Vesho. Krishna used to dress in Braj wearing a crown of flowers. Stabakupalaja means like a lotus also. He would wear one lotus flower, one peacock feather. This was Krishna's dress. Mineral pigments from Govardhan used to mark his face. You understand? But now you're dressed like a king. With Raj, Tilak, so many different things. Krishna particularly chose a family in which he couldn't become a king. You know the story of Yayati in Yadu. He couldn't become a king. He didn't want to be a king. He purposely chose that dynasty for that reason. But still, by faith, he's in this royal dynasty. So they're telling, now we see you like this. Long story short, they pleaded with Krishna, you should come back to Vrindavan even now. But Krishna could not do it. So he spent 2 months having pastimes with gopis, with Brijabasis like that. After 2 months, they went back to Braj. He goes to Dwarka. He told Radhika during that meeting, listen, I'm with you every day in Vrindavan. She said, we're not like yogis. Right? We don't understand how mystic power works and all these things. He says, well, I'm always in your heart. She told. If you're in my heart, then my heart is not different from Vrindavan. Place your 2 lotus feet there and we should go. This is the whole meaning of Rath Yatra. Krishna Rajalona Jai E Bhavantar. Whole meaning of Rath Yatra is to take Krishna from Kurukshetra back to Braj. Right? But nonetheless, Krishna went back to Dwarka. From that time on, Krishna never acted like a Kshatriya again. You read in Bhagavatam, in the Kram of Bhagavatam, no more killing of demons. No more picking up weapons. When they were asked if you're going to fight in the great battle that's coming, Bala said, I'm not fighting. Krishna, I'm not fighting. You understand? Why? Bala said, I'm going on Tirtha Yatra. Many people say, why? Why didn't Krishna, Baladev want to fight? Oh, because he also Duryodhan was his disciples. That's not why. Because they saw Brijabasis at Kurukshetra. They were absorbed in thinking of Braj. They had no mood to fight. The only person that Baladev would kill after that is Romaharsan Sutta. Why? Because Tulya Bhagavata Krishna Vibhusa was sly. This Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna, and you're about to speak what is not Bhagavatam. And he didn't really kill Romaharsan. What did he do? They came there to perform a yajna, correct? Baladev took a piece of kusa grass and performed the yajna for them. Boom! Therefore he sacrificed Romaharsan Sutta. That was the big yajna. What was the sacrifice? Without Romaharsan Sutta, his son could then hear from Shukadev Goswami and speak the real meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam as he heard it from Shukadev, who heard it from Vyas in Anugatya. This was the sacrifice at Namasaranya. Krishna didn't kill anymore. Rather, Krishna told Arjuna, look, my army's with Duryodhan, for you I'll become your chariot driver. Chariot driver's duty is not only to drive the chariot, but you have to take care of the chariot, clean it, make sure the wheels are right, make sure the horses are yoked, make sure the horses have shoes and are clean. So one day Arjuna came down to his own stall looking for Krishna. Krishna was there in that stall. And he was rubbing the neck of one horse. And he was crying and he was repeating, Oh Mridamamukhi, I am so sorry. Why? Read Rupa Goswami's Hangsadut. Hangsadut is one book where Lalita is expressing the separation mood of Radhika. I'm not going into the whole book. But in that book, she tells, you take a message to Krishna that calf, that when he left was very small and Krishna was very fond of, that calf has started to grow now, but it's completely skin and bones. It will not eat, so its mouth is drying up. Its eyes have become sunken in. You tell Krishna, this is the state of this calf in separation from you. So if this calf is feeling like this, what is the state of my Sakhi? You understand? So Krishna was crying, calling Om Mridanga This was the name of this calf. Arjuna saw this, he was completely bewildered. Later on, the battle would take place. When the day of the battle came, everybody pulled up into the battlefield. Everybody's just about to fight. As they pull it into the battle, Arjuna says what? oh, please take my chariot in between the two armies so I can see who's here. When the chariot goes in between the two armies, suddenly Arjuna becomes bewildered. And he decides, I will not fight. Then he tells Krishna, I'm going to become your Sishya, your disciple. What is Krishna's qualification to be Guru? In Rasvichar. In Tattva, he's God, he's Bhagavan. But right now we're in Rasvichar. Guru said, don't mix these two things. Not proper. In Rasvichar, how will Krishna be Guru? Krishna is not Guru in Rasvichar. Unless you want to learn, like he wanted to teach Uddhava, how Ras should be done in Raj. You understand? This is his expertise. That's why Rupa Goswami wrote Vidagdha Madhava. He's Vidagdha in Braj Ras, but he's not Guru to help you with your issues. Right? So who became bewildered actually? Even our Acharyas wrote, Arjuna apparently became bewildered. But now you have to first understand who's speaking Bhagavad Gita. Then you can understand who has become bewildered. In the Gita Mahatmya, verse number 5, it is mentioned there. Savo Panasado Gavo Dugdha Nandan Gopala Partha Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdha Gita Amritam Mahat. It says, O thoughtful, learned devotees, drink the nectar of this Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken when Krishna used Partha, Arjuna, as a calf to extract the nectar of his own heart. So Krishna returning to Kurukshetra, where he had last met Brijabasis, I've told this many times before, he became bewildered. And because Arjuna is so close to Krishna, his heart is tadatmik with Krishna, then Arjuna vicariously also became bewildered. You understand? Krishna became bewildered, therefore Arjuna became bewildered. Why did Krishna bewilder Arjuna? So he'd have a chance to do a Geet. The gopis had done Venu Geet, Pranay Geet, Gopi Geet, Yugal Geet, and Brahmar Geet. Now Krishna is replying in a code with Bhagavad Gita, and later on he'd speak another Gita, Uddhava Geet. These two Geets, Krishna in code, is telling his own catharsis and the glories of bhakti. You understand this point? Yeah, yes or no? Yes. Right? That Krishna is telling from his own heart what is real bhakti and what is the meaning of having real love by expressing in code his own feelings of separation from Brijabasis. That's why when Krishna gets to his conclusion, 1866 of Bhagavad Gita, he says, what's the verse? Savadharma parityajya mam ekam saranam braja. In Sanskrit, braja, if you look in the Abhidhan, in the dictionary, means to move, to go. But in context, because every verse should be Shastra Sangati, Adhyaya Sangati, Shloka Sangati. Sangati means you have to find the context. What is the meaning? In context, huh?
Surrender to Rajendra Nandan Sham.
Yes. So not just surrender to Rajendra Nandan Sham, but surrender to Braj. Because surrendering to Krishna, you cannot get Krishna praying. You understand this? You have to surrender to who to get Krishna praying? Brijabasis, Guru, he's Brijabasi. So in Anagata you get Krishna. Krishna does not give Krishna praying. Devotees give Krishna praying. So he's saying, Saranam Braja, both me and you should make our sole duty to surrender to the mood of Braj. How do we know this? Because Vishnu Chakravati Thakur echoed it. Arajo Bhagavan Rajesha Tadama Vrindavan, etc. Ramishkashchir Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena. This Varga, this path of gopis, this is the best method of doing Upasana to Krishna. Jai Shri Shri Govinda Dev, Jai Shri Sachinanda Gaur Hari, Jai Shri Gurudev, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we are concluding here. This was the actual mood that Krishna was expressing in all of Gita. And if Arjuna should say, if I give up my duty, I'll incur sins, he says, no. Mokshishami Mahasucha. I will protect you. Then, if you incur any kind of sin to serve Brijabasis, I'm willing to take that on my own head. Why? Because there is no way to repay anyone who does this. He told the gopis, Napareham nirvaja samyujam. What did they do? Yama bhajan durjaya geha shankala samvisha. They gave up everything to serve Krishna. Who else gave up any dharma to serve Krishna? Mother Yashoda does not give up her dharma to serve Krishna. Cowherd boys don't give up their dharma to serve Krishna. Nobody gave up their dharma to serve Krishna except gopis. So he said, for you I cannot repay you. For everybody else, I can repay that kind of love. But this kind of love I cannot repay. I don't even understand it. Therefore, at the end of Braj Leela, whoever Vraja Vilas say 18 Abhilas. Krishna had 3 desires. What 3 desires? Oh, Krishna's Kaviraj noted. Shri Radha Pranaya, Mahima Kidusovani Eva, what is Radhika's love, etc. Krishna revealed one other thing, last thing I'm telling, in Bhagavad Gita. He told himself, Yam Yam Vapi Smaram Bhavan Tajayate Ante Kalebram. Whatever you become absorbed in at the time of giving up this world, that state you will obtain. What was Krishna thinking sitting under a pipal tree at Prabhas after Jara had come and offered the Kalparush, telling him it's time to end his leave? That arrow is a personification of the Kalparush, telling Krishna it's time to end your pastimes. Right? Only in the external non-devotees they will see Krishna shot with an arrow. That Jara is Vali, I'm not telling that whole backstory, but and he becomes also the head of the Sabras in his next life, right? To serve Jagannath. So, what was Krishna thinking? 2 things. How to obtain the moods of Radhika and how to witness himself tasting those moods. For this reason, he took 2 forms. One form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and one form of Jagannath. So now Mahaprabhu could taste the moods of Radhika in one form, and standing on the cart with big eyes dilated, and like this, in wonder, he could look at himself tasting the moods of Radhika in the form of Jagannath. You understand? So this is Krishna's Leela in a nutshell. I've told most of this Leela before. Some things we told from today, but most has been told before. So on Krishna Janmasthami, we have all day long to become absorbed in remembering all of these things regarding Shri Krishna. Only once in a day of Brahma, Krishna appears. 340 billion years. And only 5,000 years ago he appeared. 500 years ago Mahaprabhu appeared. How fortunate we are. And in our lifetime, we have come in contact with Nitya associates of that same Shri Radha and Krishna in the form of Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, other Sudha Vaishnavas. We should take full advantage of these kinds of titis, especially to become fully absorbed. Don't have any problem for eating and sleeping. If you have any health problem or anything like that, and you have to do something, that's fine. There's no stigma or anything like that. But other than that, for those who are doing any fasting on this brat, anything, don't consider it to be any tapasya. Because how will Krishna be happy? They're all waiting for me. I'm not going to be there till midnight and they're all suffering. Not Krishna's mood. So you should think very nicely, oh, I'm arranging this service, that service, I'm reading, I'm hearing, I'm this, I'm that, I'm doing bhajan, kirtan, so many things. Then I have to cook for Krishna, I have to make outfits for Krishna, so many things. This way being absorbed. And then when Krishna appears at midnight, oh, then together you'll celebrate according to your adhikar. We have sadak adhikar, so we'll celebrate by taking all the Ekadasi preps, everything like that. Then the next day, Nandotsav, Nanda Maharaj has arranged a huge feast for everyone tomorrow, right? That we can also take. And to show how we got to this point, he also made it so that his pure devotee emissary, who brought all of this to everyone, he appears tomorrow. Understand?
You have like 30 more minutes.
We're going to do some bhajan.
They're gonna do bhajan.
He's been here for
2
hours.
Yeah. Alright.
Guys,
Haribo, Dhanaraj, Gaur, Premanandi, Haribo, Vanchakal, Puchanisha, Sanedu, Ayuchapatina, Vanashava.
Page 366. Somebody had a question. Page 366, Braja Janamana Sukadari.
Haribo, devotees on the telephone, we've all heard this before. Dandavad. Haribo, Haribo, devotees on the phone.
See if you find it. 366.
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, दर्शन वाल की जय, जय जय श्री राधे श्याम, 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 राधे श्याम। Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Kita Kundala Kala Vajayanti Mala Charanandani Kodara Samarani Sham Shama Shama Sundara-Bhadana Kamoda-Kalochana Param-Pichita-Vana Hari Mohana-Bhamsi-Bihari Vrindavamane Dherusharave Gopi Jana Manahari Shri Govardhana Nari Radhe Shama 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 Krishna, Miriya Prabhu, Govarupa Avatari. Radha Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. That would be much sweeter if you're done with taco. Muddy and Archie.
Someone else does one?
So they can take that.
They're about to open the curtain.
Yeah. Never got it on me?
Yeah.
Just sing anything or mama?
Alright.
Is it ready?
It's Archie time! Who's singing? Who's singing this? You singing? Hey, Ramani's singing.
Anjali, you want to sing?
Yashomati Nandana Brajavaranagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomati Nandana Gokula Ranjana
Hare Guru Grahamedali Radha Radhavino Radha Govinda Juru Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Guruvanapi Acharya Shila Bhakti Vedanta Nanda Sanaj Gurudev Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Gogovinda Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Vigyana Bharati Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Bhagavati Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Bhagavati Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Bhagavati Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Gaita Brahmada Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Jivan Janana Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Gora Vaikanas Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Rakshak Shila Goswami Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad His Divine Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Acharya Keshari Shila Bhakti Pradhyana Keshari Smaraj Param Gurudev Ki Jai Nichira Vishnu Mishra Bala Shukala Sadashi Shimad Jaguru Shri Prabhupada Bhakti Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Saparashara Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Mahabhagavad Shri Gaushal Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Satnam Goswami Shri Satchidanand Bhakti Thakur ki jai, Vaishnava Sarvagam Shri Jagannath Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Shri Gauri Vedantacharya Shri Radha Vijayabhushan Guru ki jai, Shri Rasik Sirumani Shri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Naratham Srinivas Shamananda Guru ki jai, Shri Krishna Kaviraj ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Shri Gauri Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhattagana Shri Jiva Gopamata Dasa Gana Sago Swami Guru ki jai, Shri Swarup Damodar Rupendari Shri Gauri Parashara ki jai, Akachai Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai, Ishwar Puripa Madhavendra Puripa ki jai, Prem se kaho se Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasali Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Ataji Mayapur Samanji Gurjumaji Madhaji Kovaji Udaji Janaji Modajumaji Rijadi Atma Shri Shri Navadi Dham ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Govardhan Dwara Samanamaka Shri Vajra Mandala ki jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Munigavatosi Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Devi ki jai, Gompa Vishwana Mahadeva ki jai, Shri Chamandala Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Shri Jagannath Mahadev Svaji Siddhasani Chakra ki jai, Sarva Vivinasana Shri Nishingade Bhagavan ki jai, Bhakti Prabha Shri Pada Maharaj ki jai, Chada Samadaya Chadadam Chadachari ki jai, Akaramatara Shri Chaitanya Mati ki jai, Shri Keshri Garimat Parayananta Sakamata Nuru ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Govinda Mandir Raksha ki jai, Yankaraj Shri Nandagavatam ki jai, Golokera Premadana Hari Nama Sankirtan ki jai, Kaliva Pavana Prem Purushottam Sachi Nandana Gaurariya ki jai, Bhaktivatsala Shri Krishna Chandra ki jai, Shri Krishna Janmasthami ki jai, Vishwanami Shrimati Radhika Thakarani ki jai, Samanta Koli Vaishnavani ki jai, Samagata Bhaktivani ki jai, Nitai Gaur ki jai.
Jai Shri Shri